Now, is it true big trucks aren't selling because they cost over 100K? That's a big, huge no. Yes, models like the F-150 Raptor or the AT4 or the Ram TRX, they are over 100K. But they have always been expensive and they have always taken a good amount of time to sell. Traditionally, expensive trucks took a long period to sell. Trucks like this back here aren't over 100K and will sell. There's more people now looking for less equipment. Still, the XLT 302 or the high premium XLT is still very, very popular and it's nowhere near 100K. There's a little picture of inventory being full. But the inventory that has traditionally always taken the longest to sell, and this is coming from an insider, is inventory like this Bronco. It's only the last 2 years or 3 years where we were force-fed the idea that we might perish within a few months, especially if we talk closely to someone, that there is this huge danger of perishing. I don't want to use certain words that will, get me more or less banned, demonetize me. So we'll say that with all the scare tactics that went down, people were spending money that they normally would not spend, and it made it this. There's this huge concentration and desire for end of the world edition. If I might not make it, I might as well go all out. So models like this, beautiful, beautiful Bronco. This is the Heritage Edition. It's not even the highest. It's not the limited. It's your regular Heritage. But look how nice that is. Let's check it out here. These are models that traditionally took longer to sell. Painted roof here on the hardtop. It's actually really well done. It's smooth. It's shiny. So that white top looks great. It's not all granular. So they've done a great job. Dwayne from Driven Wild Outdoors, I hope you're still watching this. M. Peugeot, I hope you're still here. I know you're a big Bronco guy. And M. Peugeot, please let us know about you've got 2 Broncos and one has really high mileage. You might be the winner. So please let us know. Talk about your Bronco in the live chat. So there's your Bronco, your special Heritage Edition. It's got a stripe. It's got white wheels. It's got a white roof. Now, let's get back to showing you some more expensive trucks, the type of trucks that traditionally have always taken a long time to sell. I'll tell you right here, not just trucks, cars that were premium models like this Mustang, longer to sell. And Ford had a strategy for selling Mustang GT convertibles. If you wanted a GT convertible, you had to get a premium. You had to get it with leather. And that's the only way you could get a new one in Canada. So guess what? I think we're pretty much cleaning up the Mustangs that the US probably couldn't sell without our help because it was our only option. So what did people do? They sucked it up. And they shouldn't. No one should feel like they're sucking it up when it comes to a Mustang GT. I hope to edit and produce these vehicles, but I currently have a 2000 Porsche 911 that we saw earlier in really great condition. Porsche. We also drove the 911 GTS 2023 Porsche on the strip, the drag strip, the racetrack, and it was fantastic. But there's a lot of points on the Mustang GT for a third of the price that I prefer. That is actually, it's not just a preference, it's a validated opinion. Mustang GT sounds way better. It handles very well. Is there a difference? Yeah, you'll find a difference if you are tracking the vehicle, but who tracks their Porsche 911s? Most of them stay as garage. I'm going to the garage and having a beer and I'm looking at my car. Basically, it's like the
great activity for
in Canada, we'll call it the $180,000 interior fountain. This, Brembo brakes on the Mustang GT, but these high trims traditionally have been much longer to sell. And you know what? We're just going back to normal. So for all the YouTube videos that are saying Ford is done, Ford is finished, Ford is dead, GM is dead, Dodge is dead, we've seen it all. You've seen these videos. And they're basically saying that GM, Dodge, and Ford are basically going to go out of business because they can't sell $100,000 trucks. And it kind of gives you the idea as if all the trucks are over $100,000. And they actually have titles like, Ford's doomed, they can't sell any trucks. And the thumbnail is, showing $130,000, Raptor. And it happens, and they're saying that, they're still selling over MSRP. Raptors have traditionally, in most places, always sold over MSRP. They're attracting a millionaire. It's a whole different clientele traditionally anyways. And it's just always the way it's been, and it's always taking a long time to sell. So if you watch videos that show, hey, look at this Ford F-150, it's, 300 days in inventory, so Ford is doomed. No, they're not. It's a Raptor. This is just normal. Raptors also often sold 1 or 2 years later after coming out. So they'd sit on a lot for 1 or 2 years. Not as bad as the Chrysler Pacifica, sitting on average for about 1,000 days. M. Peugeot, thank you very much. Yes, you are ready, of course, to sell your Bronco at MSRP with, I think I read 85 or 86,000 miles.
Miles, yeah.
But the Bronco, we sold our first Bronco a little over MSRP. We sold our second Bronco that we had for, what was it, like 14 or 15 months for $2,000. And people back then were saying, oh, don't buy a Bronco because, it's not worth it. I've never, ever, before the Bronco, ever really owned a vehicle where I can say I got to drive something problem-free that I was proud of. That was also, we don't have to throw brand new in there, but yeah, why not? But just problem-free, headache-free, and got to drive it for about, what, like $100 a month? $125, $130, $134 per month. So, yes, Ford, GM, and Dodge, and Toyota can't sell trucks. The trucks they can't sell are the trucks they always had not trouble selling, but that they took longer to sell because there just aren't as many super rich buyers on the market who want to spend a lot of money for a vehicle. Some super rich people want to drive their 15-year-old, Focus GT, or their old, 10, 12-year-old Taurus, or their 20-year-old Lincoln. It's the big vehicles that are having trouble selling, and it's just completely normal. And that's why, this Platinum Lightning, I don't expect to sell it quickly. And it's not a sign that Lightning sales are doomed and that Ford is doomed for selling electric vehicles. It's going to bankrupt them. No, this vehicle might take 300 days to sell because it is expensive, but they're not all incredibly expensive. We need to sort of get used to the idea that stuff costs more. It's an unfortunate reality. But if you say, you know what, I'm going to wait, I think in 10 years, you're going to go, boy, so few people can afford a new vehicle now, because I think that's part of the agenda. It's part of the plan, whether it's about saving the environment or not, or just about controlling people's movement. I think in 10 years, far fewer people are going to be driving vehicles. You'll get driven by vehicles,